Let me guess, you're earning decent money. You're not being reckless. And yet, you keep asking yourself, why do I still feel broke? You've done the budgeting, you've cut back on the lattes, and somehow your account still gaslights you at the end of the month. Well, here's the twist. It's not just you, and it's not just your spending. In this video, I'm breaking down 7 hidden forces that quietly drain your money without you even noticing. We'll also bust a major myth about why so many people feel stuck, and I'll share one truth about modern finance that almost no one talks about. But once you hear it, it'll change the way you think about money forever. You get a raise, you celebrate, move into a better place, buy that nicer phone, maybe upgrade your wardrobe. You deserve it, right? I know you've heard this one before, and if not, you've definitely felt it. This is lifestyle creep, also known as lifestyle inflation. Your income goes up and your spending quietly rises to match it. It feels like progress, but it's actually a treadmill. You're running hard, but staying in the same place. And let's be real. In today's world, most of us are sprinting at 100 miles an hour. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill, the idea that we quickly adapt to new pleasures, which means we constantly need more to feel the same. But here's the reminder we all need. Your happiness doesn't depend on material wins. It's a product of 2 things, joy and peace. But hey, we'll save that for another video. Back to this. You're not failing. Your brain is just wired for adaptation. So what's the fix? Use this rule. Every time your income increases, split it 3 ways. 1 part to your future self, think savings or super. 1 part to your free self, debt reduction or investments. And only then upgrade something in your lifestyle. And here's the kicker. Once you upgrade, it's really hard to downgrade. I'd love to own a luxury car tomorrow. And technically, I could probably buy one. But the truth, it would cost my future self way more than it's worth. And once you level up, going backward feels impossible. Remember the marshmallow test? Kids were told, 1 marshmallow now, or 2 if you wait. The ones who waited, they went on to do better in school, in relationships, and yes, financially. But today, delayed gratification is under attack. I'd even call it a luxury at this point. Everything's instant. Food, entertainment, shopping. If I want a new TV, I can literally have it delivered tomorrow with 0 friction. And companies love that. Buy now, pay later isn't just a payment option. It's a psychological trap. The buy now benefits them. The pay later hurts you. Here's the thing. Dopamine isn't evil, but our world has flooded us with it. What used to be rare is now constant stimulation, and that rewires how we make decisions. Impulse spending is like trading long-term wealth for a quick mood boost. Here's what I do, the 48-hour rule. Anytime I want to buy something non-essential, especially fast fashion, I wait 2 days. No clicks, no checkouts, just pause. If it still feels worth it after 48 hours, go for it. If not, you just saved future you from a "what was I thinking" moment. You were perfectly happy with your 2015 Honda. At least I was. My old lady beige Honda Civic, I loved that thing. It was my first car, it ran, it was paid off. It even still smelled kinda okay. I couldn't have asked for more. But then, your mate posts a boomerang of their new Tesla. Suddenly, your car, or my beloved Honda, feels like a glorified lawnmower at best. That's the financial comparison trap, where we don't spend money to improve our lives. We spend to keep up with everyone else's highlight reel. Because let's be real, social media isn't reality. It's a 24/7, airbrushed, algorithmically optimized catalog of spending. You don't see the afterpay debt, you don't see the second job, definitely don't see the anxiety behind that curated caption. You just see the beach, the car, the watch. And somewhere inside, you start to feel like you're falling behind. That feeling has a name, relative deprivation. And let's be honest, we've all felt it. It's not weakness, it's wiring. Here's the twist. It's not just cultural, it's biological. Your brain is hardwired to scan for social ranking. Sounds harsh? I know. But back in the day, status meant food, shelter, safety, survival. Now, it just means more Deliveroo and a shinier lease car. So, what's the fix? Audit your feed, like your life depends on it. because your finances kind of do. Unfollow accounts that trigger envy, mute the humble braggers, follow creators who value clarity, simplicity, sustainability, values that are yours as well, I'm sure. Because here's the truth, you become what you scroll. It's like planting a garden. If you surround yourself with weeds, envy, comparison, consumerism, don't be surprised when your peace withers. But if you fill your feed with intention, insight, and inspiration, you grow exactly what you need. Better digital inputs equals better mental defaults, because you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your feed. You've had a rough day. Someone said something that got under your skin, your inbox is overflowing, you're exhausted, but also weirdly restless. So what do? You open your phone, you scroll, and before you even realize it, you're browsing jackets you don't need, snacks you don't even want, or gadgets you know you'll use once. This is emotional spending, and it's more common and more sneaky than we think. It doesn't always look like a $900 splurge. Sometimes it's 3 tiny orders in a week that feel harmless but add up to more than your weekly rent. And the truth is, we're not buying things, we're buying feelings, comfort, control, escape. A little hit of, I deserve this, that validation we all look for. Money becomes a stand-in for emotional regulation, just like someone might drink to cope or binge watch to numb. We buy to feel better, even if that feeling only lasts for 5 minutes. And then the regret sets in. The package arrives and you don't even open it, or worse, you do and feel nothing, because what you really needed wasn't in the box. But here's the shift. Next time you find yourself reaching for your wallet, pause. Just for a second. Ask, what am I really feeling right now? Is it stress? Is it loneliness? Is it boredom? Or maybe you just need a win today. Naming the emotion gives you a moment of power. And in that moment, you get to decide, do I really want this item? Or do I just want to feel something? Try this. Keep a feel better list on your phone. Things that cost nothing, but still give you what you actually need. Call a friend. Go for a walk. Watch a 2-minute funny video. Personally, that's my favorite. Blast a song you loved as a kid. Do 10 push-ups. Write a message you've been avoiding. Even just breathing intentionally can reset your whole nervous system. Because let's be clear, you're not avoiding pleasure. You're choosing deeper, longer lasting joy. Emotional spending doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. But when you learn to pause just long enough to ask that one question, you turn spending into self-awareness. And that's where real change begins. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's 29, works full-time, doesn't shop designer, and hasn't taken a proper holiday in 2 years. She thinks she's doing everything right. Meal prepping, skipping brunch, avoiding debt. So when she finally checked her bank statement, she nearly dropped her phone. $920 on food, $180 on subscriptions, $430 on random retail purchases she couldn't even remember making. She wasn't reckless, she was just unaware. And that's what budget blindness looks like. Let's talk about one of the most frustrating traps in personal finance. Budget blindness. You think you're good with money. You don't buy luxury handbags, you skip the fancy dinners, you even unfollowed that influencer who always makes you want new sneakers. So why is your bank account constantly yelling at you? This is budget blindness. When you think you're in control, but you've got no real visibility on where your money is actually going. Here's what it looks like in real life. You think you spent $400 on food last month. Reality check, it was $850. You thought Uber Eats was a treat until you realized you ordered 15 times. You forgot about that $7 meditation app you haven't used since February, but it's been quietly draining your account for 11 months. And it's not just you. Studies show people underestimate their spending by up to 30%. Why? Because our brains are phenomenal at justifying. It's just $12. It's a one-off. I had a tough week. It was on sale. But stack up those just $12 moments across 30 days and suddenly your money's gone. without anything to show for it. And when people realize this, they panic and try to fix it the way we were all taught, by building a traditional budget, which leads to this next uncomfortable truth. Why traditional budgets make you miserable. They suck the joy out of money by turning it into a chore. You track every coffee, every cab ride, every click. You obsess over tiny purchases while ignoring the big leaks. You feel guilty every time you mess up, even if it was for something important. It becomes a part-time job you never signed up for. And most people, they give up within weeks. The real problem, traditional budgets focus on restriction, not reality. They try to control your spending with spreadsheets and shame instead of helping you understand what actually matters. That's why so many of us feel like we're bad with money when we're just stuck in a system that was never designed to work with real life. So, what's the better way? Enter Ramit Sethi's conscious spending plan. As Ramit says in his anti-budget philosophy, you don't need to track every cent. You need a system that reflects your real life. Here's how it works. 50 to 60% goes to fixed costs, like rent, groceries, bills, 10% to investments, 5 to 10% to savings, 20 to 35%. That's your guilt-free spending. The stuff you love. Travel, books, concerts, dinners out. No shame, no stress. The genius of this system is that you handle your priorities up front, automatically. Then the rest, you spend with zero guilt. Ramit calls it spending extravagantly on the things you love, while cutting ruthlessly on the things you don't. And it works, because instead of trying to control every dollar, you design your money around your values. So here's the takeaway. Start by tracking just one category for 30 days. Food, transport, shopping, subscriptions. Pick the one that feels out of control. Don't try to get perfect, just get clear. Because once you see the leak, you'll fix the leak. And once you know where your money is actually going, you stop feeling like you're constantly behind and start building a life that feels like yours again. $9.99, $14.99, $7.49. Individually, no big deal. Together, welcome to the subscription economy, where your money disappears in monthly micro slices, streaming, fitness apps, cloud storage, digital magazines. Most of them, you don't even use regularly. This is death by 1,000 cuts. You're not being irresponsible, you're just being forgetful. And companies are counting on that. Because let's be real, you're not paying for the service anymore. You're paying to avoid the guilt of cancelling. And that guilt, that's the real product. Here's what's wild. Most of us would never sign up for half our subscriptions today. We're just still paying for them out of inertia. So ask yourself, if I wasn't already subscribed, would I pay for this today? If the answer's no, cancel it. On the spot. Pro tip, set a calendar reminder every 90 days. Call it a money hygiene check. Because just like brushing your teeth, cleaning up your digital finances prevents deeper pain later. And hey, if you've been tracking your subscriptions since the last force, consider this your official permission slip to hit unsubscribe, just not on this channel. We're free, emotionally and financially. Credit cards feel like money, but they're not. They're just borrowed permission. A financial illusion dressed up like freedom. And the scary part? Research shows we spend up to 100% more when we use credit instead of cash. Why? Because it feels painless. Swipe, tap done. No psychological sting, no emotional weight. That $6 latte didn't feel like money leaving your pocket, but what it actually cost. Maybe $6 plus interest, plus late fees, plus a lingering sense of why did I do that again? And that right there is the trap. We don't just spend more with credit, we disconnect from the decision entirely. Here's what no one tells you. When you tap your card, you're not just spending money, you're spending your future. A few days, a few weeks, sometimes months. And if you don't pay off your balance in full every month, that $300 sale turns into a $490 mistake. dragged across 3 billing cycles you'll barely notice. Until it's too late. Multiply that by a year's worth of harmless swipes. That's the cost of painless spending. It's not about demonizing credit, it's about understanding what it really is: leverage. And leverage is neutral. It can build points, perks, even opportunity. But it can also quietly pile on stress, shame, and spirals you don't talk about. So here's the rule. If you can't pay your credit card in full every single month, switch to debit or prepaid while you rebuild discipline. It might not be flashy, but you'll sleep better. And that's worth more than any rewards program. Because remember what we said back in reason number 1? Happiness is the product of 2 things: joy and peace. Credit might offer the illusion of joy, but peace, that only comes from knowing your future self is safe, steady, and in control. Let's clear up a major misconception. Most people assume they feel broke because they don't earn enough. But that's only part of the story. Take San Francisco. The average tech salary is over $150,000, and yet over a third of 6-figure earners still live paycheck to paycheck, not because they're careless, but because their spending scaled with their lifestyle, and they didn't even realize it was happening. It's not about what you earn, it's about what you keep and what you protect from the forces you can't always see. Here's something hardly anyone talks about. The modern economy is designed to keep you slightly off balance. From gamified shopping apps to flexible credit that delays pain, to pricing tricks crafted by behavioural economists. There are entire systems built to monetize your emotions before you even know what's happening. And here's the wild part. They profit from the asymmetry of information about your own behaviour. They know how you act under stress, fatigue, or impulse better than you do. You're not bad with money. You're reacting exactly how the system wants you to. But now, you can't unsee it, and that changes everything. Lifestyle creep makes you feel richer, but keeps you stuck. Dopamine spending trains you to crave now, not later. Comparisons push you toward performative purchases. Emotional spending trades money for momentary mood boosts. Budget blindness leaks your income silently. Subscriptions eat away with tiny, forgotten bites. Credit makes overspending feel painless until it isn't. And the hidden truth? You're not broken. You've just been surrounded by forces you didn't even know were there. But now you do. And that means you can start. Start with one change. Awareness is step 1, action is step 2. And momentum? That's how you win the long game. If you learn something new, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which hidden reason hit home for you the most? This is Hidden Economics, where we make the invisible forces visible so you can take your power back.